Hi, I'm Tom Hignite. Welcome back to part 2 of the tour of the Grand Bay, one of our longer tours, but it is also one of our most fantastic homes and one of the most fantastic homes I'd wager you're ever going to see. Nothing quite like this one. So let's continue on with a few of the more mundane things as long as we're in the back hall. Our last piece of video ran out a little while ago. This one has the automatic lights that go on when you open up the door, and it has the big, thick cherry doors. We are proceeding into the garage. This has a automatic closer on it, so be careful not to get yourself caught in it. Out here we have a big circle that you can't see anymore. So if anybody ever wonders if epoxy wears out, this is what a 12-year-old house looks like with an epoxy floor. It does go off. We had a tan over here, and we had a gray over here, and if you look over under our messy carpet area, you'll still see some of it that has yet to be worn off. So this is the sprinkle in specks of epoxy. In the garage, we'll hit it real quick. A little storage unit up here. It is heated. There is a furnace in the garage, a Modine. They do have hot and cold running water amongst the mess over here. We do have a vacuum, so you could wash out the car. We do not have a floor drain. Some municipalities have trouble with floor drains because of getting oil into the groundwater system. We can debate that forever. Inside the garage, we have a 2-stall, then a wall, and then another stall. Now this other stall has a 6-foot set of doors going through it, so you could open them up. And if you want to come on in, take a look. I'm afraid this is our warehouse right now. It has a lot of stuff stuffed in it that we were going to put in the house that we didn't have to put in the house. Does that make any sense at all? And we have some storage area over here, and there you are. So this is the garage. Not the most spectacular thing, but we only have one way to go from here, and that's up. And I mean, we have some exciting things in store for you around the corner. We're kind of taking a little bit of an unorthodox tour of this home because a lot of times when I'll tour the home, I'll go in a circle because it is a circular great room. If you watched part 1, you will know that. And as we go back toward the great room, you're going through the kitchen. So when you come in from the garage, you have a very quick grocery path. You have the laundry room, you have the bathroom right there, and you have the pantry, which, as you might recall, is right over there if you take a quick spin around. So that's the traffic path as you come in. And you also recall we have that direct view to the television over here. As you come around here, let's get back on the main path. If you could stand right over on that side over here, camera person. We have a circular curved bar. This is really fun. Get a little closer. Take a look at some of the woodwork that's been done in here with the groove that goes all the way through with the lines. It's a very contemporary look, yet a very old look at the same time. If you would call that eccentric maybe, or eclectic. You can see all the grooves in here. This was made again by Burmeister Woodwork. It has the curved top with the deep ogee edging on the granite. These panels here, or these shelves here, excuse me, are made for electronics. And if you were to go and look all the way down here, you'd see a whole oodle of electronics down here. And all of those electronics can be hooked up in here to do some fantastic things. This house hasn't had that set up. The folks who owned it were not all that tech needy, so they didn't do that. If you go on this side of the bar, this is a buffet, by the way. It's right in between the dinette and in between the dining room. It's right on the curve of the great room. So if you were going to put out chips and dips, this is a great buffet. There's no storage back here except for a hidden storage. Let me show you the hidden storage. I operate it with my foot. You're not going to be able to see it from that side, I'm afraid. You're going to have to get a little bit bigger angle on it. Now, I thought they might put in some very expensive bottles of alcohol of some sort in here and hide it away because it's a great hiding spot, or valuables potentially. But they have Kleenex and some cleaning supplies in there. There's a small refrigerator over here. Well, you are coming from the wrong side, aren't you? Well, let's walk around that side and take a spin. Not that it's any great shake to see inside a refrigerator, but it's good to get a second angle on this curved wet bar. There's a little overhang here, which you can only see from this angle. Originally, when I designed this piece of furniture and the whole house, I had thought about putting a round stool here, so somebody could just kind of sit here. Never really put the stool there. Here's the little Uline refrigerator, freezer, little ice maker, kind of cute. Over here, so it has a water line to it for ice making over there. And that's kind of a different item. It does have a light in it, which must be burnt out because there is a trip mechanism here. All right, let's go look at the dining room. This leads in from the kitchen. Get a perspective, if you stand over here, if you would, and get a perspective of how this treats from the kitchen. So you're able to come right through this way or that way and set up a little bit of a buffet. Kohler kitchen sink, or a bar sink rather, excuse me. Kohler bar sink, and they're really neat. For the day, you know, back in 2004, we were trying to put every Kohler thing we could into this home, and Kohler was happy to accommodate that. The oh, turn on the light over here. Forgot to do that. 1, 2, 3. There we go. It's a touch hinge on that cabinet that allows us to do that furnishing item. The dining room. The dining room, as you come right around from the, give you a sense of place, you're coming around from the foyer and you have this round circle going on. And if I can give you another approach, let's trade places, shall we? So I'm going to go in this direction. You go down that way just a little bit. So here's what's happening when you're coming in from the foyer. You don't really see the dining room. It's hidden. You notice that? But now come around and follow the circle as we come around in the great room. And you peek around the corner and look at what we have here. It's a fantastic long dining room, capable of seating a party of 10 or 12 even if you put in all the leaves in the table. Quite a great table setting we have here. Very fancy. We do have some lights above. I'm going to turn those on bright for you. Every light in the home is a dimmer, and every light switch in the home is it's a Lutron system. You press something twice, it goes on. You press it on the bottom, it dims to wherever you want it to be. So take a look at the inset floor. I think there's a lot of detail to see in this house. We have a lot of inlaid floors inset into the floor. The inlays, this is all laser cut, and these are all, this is a separate piece of wood. This just isn't paint. This is a different color, a different piece of wood than this, pushed into each other like a puzzle piece. And it's cherry and maple. And if you look at the wall as long as you're down there, take a look at what we've done here. For our wainscoting, we've done what some people call it wainscoting. We have a little design here that has this little bracket on top holding up the piece of cherry wood here. And you see how that's been curved with the wall. This was all designed by yours truly, trying to think in each room what I could do that I haven't seen before. And I didn't go to books to find this. This was, okay, we want to make up something new, something fresh, not be influenced by something that's comes before, except for in my memory, so that we can try to create something that is kind of new and fresh. If you take a look at the wall, remember I explained yesterday how we were trying to do things like a castle? We had a company come in here that made this out of plaster. They make theater sort of products. So they hand formed all of these very large looking stones. Step back a little bit, you can get a better idea of what the stone looks like. And then we had an artistic painter come in and paint each one of these a little different so that it has that look of a castle stone. On the top here, if you take a look at what we've done up here, we have little medallions, we have wallpaper, we have, here, step closer, you're too far away. We have a small piece of trim wood here, a flexible piece of 1/4 inch here, and then a crown mold going around here. This crown mold goes all the way through, curves through. These are all templated and all made one at a time. I mentioned that in part 1. The doors over here, if you saw them from the outside, let me just open them up from the inside here and show you what we have. It always feels like I'm opening up some sort of a castle here because they are so heavy. Well, I must not have it completely unlocked or it's swelled. Ah, swelled. How about that? Gorilla shooting at its finest once again. There we are. Now, it would be hard to put a screen on here, but remember the purpose for this front door is to be a visual front door, because every soul of a house is its front door. And so I want to be able to see it, but yet the front door on this home, which is over here, Trade Places, you'll see that. You'll see the sense of place of where this is at. The front door is really over here. So this is a great spot to bring in all the furniture for the home, because it opens up nice and wide. It's a great way to get in some fresh air in the home as well. Let me close up that beautiful door and put that and put that, and let's see if my swelling is, it must have just been me, huh? All right, step back a couple of steps. I have a little surprise for you in here. This closet, which is a double set of doors, is a little bit different. It's kind of an old-fashioned idea. Lights go on automatically when you open up the doors again via the little button up on the top. This is a gift wrapping closet. Gift wrapping closet with a stool in it. This might have been the stool that should have been out there, huh? So in the gift wrapping closet, the idea would be, step back 2 steps. You're going to see we have shelving over here, California closet shelving. And that California closet shelving works just great for keeping things in order that are gifts. You get some gifts, you lock the doors. When you feel like wrapping the gifts, you can then come in here and wrap it. We have all the paper up here, so you can roll off the Christmas paper or the birthday paper, and we just kind of created this as a little neat area to discover in the home, and it is very useful as well. I'm a little jealous we don't have one of those in our own home. Oh, well, you know how it is, the cobbler's kids. Okay, step back a couple. We have a big alcove here. You're going to have to step back more than a couple to see this whole thing. This alcove is just for a hutch, so you can have a big, large hutch in here. I showed you. You touch this and the lights come on. Back over on this side of the room, this isn't the original picture I had in here, but it will suffice just fine. We have a picture inset. You can see how the wainscoting top cap had to become a little deeper. We also have a television over here. I pointed out that we have televisions pushed into the wall cavity. Back in '04, when the home was built, flat panel televisions were not that inexpensive as they are today. And we had another picture frame just like that that was right here with an actual picture in it. You can actually find DVDs that just have famous art on them, and they'll change the art every couple of minutes. And those make really nice things to put in here, as do different holidays. You can adorn the room and decorate by using 4th of July videos or Christmas or Halloween or what have you. So that's the dining room. I'm going to turn down the light just a little bit. We'll get the dimmer going, and let's continue on the tour. By the way, as we continue on the tour, people will ask often about these right here. These beautiful 12-inch by 12-inch or 10.5 by 10.5, without getting out my tape measure, are actual solid. They go all the way up, and they make a circle over the top. It's emphasizing visually the fact that we have a Roman dome ceiling. So it's taking the round, it's taking the other round, coming in the opposite direction. These are solid Ponderosa pine, I believe, and they have just a little 2-inch by 2-inch open chase in the middle of the solid blocks of wood to run the wiring. These chandeliers, which were made by Mabius Ironworks, Eric Mabius, right here in Richfield, Wisconsin, these were custom made for the home to match the middle one, which is a little larger, the smaller one in the middle of the room. And these can be detached and made into Christmas tree hanging areas. I actually had Eric make 4 cages. They were beautifully done on a wrought iron with a wood stand, and they had a star that was made out of wrought iron on the top that could be lit up. It had an electric in it. So you'd take out the chandelier, how about that? And you have your 6-foot trees, 4 of them, hanging one over each couch. And I have those cages were not ever made part of the deal when we sold the house, because they were about $2,500 on a very good deal when we were having them made. So that was back 10, 15 years ago. So those never got sold with the home. We thought we'd use them in another home. We haven't. They're now in my basement, and they are available. Maybe we'll use them again someday. Step on around. You're going to go past the dining room, past the foyer, and while we're going there, look over top. You'll see that we have a neat plant ledge that's making the circle part of that circular foyer. Again, looking at the foyer from this angle, you'll see how that circle in the foyer really we tried to emphasize. So you have a small circle before you get into this big 30-foot diameter circle in this room. As you look at the flooring was all cut in pie pieces. So we have the center of the room with piecing going like this, so they're heading towards center. Then you come over to the next pillar, or the next beam, and you have this all facing in again towards center. So it's an interesting way to do that. It's very difficult, as was the tile that got inlaid here, because the tile had to all be, of course, cut in different sizes to make this curve go as smooth as it did. You can look up above, as you're doing now. You can see what we have going on with the plant ledges. As designed the home sort of with a touring aspect in mind, I always thought about top each room. So you go into one room, you go, oh, that's really cool. How could you top this? You're thinking that in your head. And so as you saw the foyer, you said, wow, this is really cool. People will sit there and be stunned by the foyer with that big art mural. They'll go into the dining room and discover the gift wrap closet. They'll go into the kitchen and discover, all the different marbles that are in there. So come on around the corner here and take a look at what the den would be like. Now you're discovering this for the first time on video, so you stay over there a moment. I'll get you some distance. First of all, there's a round top door. It's the first round top door that you're seeing in the house, and it is a beauty. It hasn't swelled yet. So you come on in, look at what we have going here with the back side of the art mural. This large stained glass of the Holy Hill Shrine in the area has a two sides. Of course, stained glass is usually seen from the outside of the building and the inside. This is seen from two insides of the building. You see how we have this line of mini spotlights up here that are letting the be lit up from the foyer at night. So when you come in, you don't need sunlight to make your window work. And we also have some light on the other side. The ceiling in here was all done with hard rock maple, and these, again by Burmeister Woodwork, fantastic, heavy job. One of the little details in this room was these little circles that are in the middle. When these first came to us, they were all at a different dimension coming away from the wall. This was in the middle of this beam, this one was in the middle of this beam, and the one overhead here was in the middle of this beam, about right here. And I said, no, that's wrong. That's not what we're looking for. My design had them all a certain distance from this wall. So they were all equidistant from that wall. They weren't just in the middle of each beam. And they rebuilt the beams completely to get that to work. You can, I knew I wanted to do wood paneling in here, but just to do wood paneling, it's all been done before. So what can you do that hasn't been so common and hasn't been seen? And it came upon me that wouldn't it be great to take our beautiful Pella windows and try to imitate them in wood? And then let's go even one step further and put a valance that matches our windows in here. So here you see how we've recreated the window shape here. We put the fatter bar in the middle where the fatter separation bar is on these, and we really tried to imitate the windows. We did another one of those over here. Maybe you can get a better view from where you're at over there, because the sun might be hitting it a little bit better for you. And if you look up above these windows, or these false windows, we have this beautiful keystone, the little shelf with the crown on it, the way that this has all been inset in with this cherry wood, and you just look at the beauty of this room. Go in that far corner there, if you will. I want you to take a look back in this direction. I'm going to close the door. Okay. Now you can see that I like doing 4 corners of a room. If you would, go in that corner over there and let's get kind of a pan of the room. You can start way on this side. I won't block your view too much here. And just slowly go to this side over here. You get a view of this. There you go. Now you're going slow. And we've got the wallpaper picking up on each side. We've got the paint in the middle, so it kind of makes a nice bookend to that. And the metallic wallpaper. In here, we have a bigger than you would expect walk-in closet. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but as you get a little closer. But beautiful walk-in closet and some shelves over on this side with a little bit of hanging underneath, really maximizing the use of every square inch of the home, which is something that I just hate to waste space. Tall ceiling in here, and trade places here. We have a couple of floor outlets here. You'll notice something about the floor. We've used 2 different types of carpet. For an older home, this house has a lot of great condition items. See how the carpet picks up a little bit of the red, a little bit of the from the woodwork, and yet we're introducing green into the room. And this imitates what's happening on the beams. We have the surround of the room, and in the middle of this one, we did a Cat 5 for computer, because at the time when this was open, we had a computer on here that was a video screen, and it was playing a DVD of me again showing the different items in the room. So you can put a desk in the middle of the room and have a very usable, you don't have to jump over the cords. Enough on the den? Good. It's hard to give a dimension on this because it is a pie-shaped room. Hard to tell where to make that dimension happen. The folks who own this home, Mike and Elizabeth, you could always see at Christmas time that they put their big tree right here. This is the front window on the home. It has a double window, and then it has a big wide picture glass window up there. And there are light outlets up here, which are not turned on at the moment. There's another double door that imitates the door that's, round top door, that imitates the door that's right behind you that we just passed through. So you have this, again, bookend, as I call it, of a round top door, 8 feet, and a round top door over there. This is the main bathroom for the house, or the kids' bathroom, or a secondary bathroom. If you come on in here, I'll turn on some of the lights. You can see that we're broken up into 2 areas here. A nice wall here faces you with a tapestry on it. This is one of the more unique things that I've put in a home. Custom-made cabinet. Take a look at the way this works. So here, stand over there a little bit. Sorry that you have to be so close to this. Maybe you should ring around there and go over in that direction. Get a longer view of it. It's just kind of neat to see a cabinet that opens up on two sides. It still has a drawer that only goes in one direction, but quite a neat custom cabinet. This was actually made not by Burmeister, but by Quality Cabinets out of West Bend. There's 2 areas to this bathroom. A sink area out here, which is old-fashioned. This is another Kohler piece here. A couple of small drawers. You can see that shelf underneath. Well-built piece of furniture. Little clawfoot on the bottom. Some marble on top. And the Kohler faucet here. Beautiful little jewel-looking fixtures up here. Now you pass through here, and you're seeing a different part of the bathroom. A little bathroom into and of itself. So you have this sort of a sink by itself bathroom. Then you have this kind of a little bit more contemporary modern bathroom mixed in with some of the old. So when we originally did this, one of the surprises I wanted you to find in every room, as I mentioned, in this room is this piece of glass. Now when we had this set up the way that I would have normally have set it up, Mike and Elizabeth don't quite have it that way. We had these towels going equal to this in the same color all the way to the top, and they looked like they were holding up this glass top. We had the color of kind of a greenish tan going up and holding it up here, and the same goes for here. So we had these 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, holding it up. There's a drawer that's been designed under each one, and they have the soft close on them. And there's this big Lexan, I believe, top. Doesn't touch the wall here. I get around the corner. Doesn't touch the wall there, of course. And here, it's a straight place as you go over there. And we have a wall control over here for this Kohler sink, cast iron. And the plumbing was put between the towels with the drain right here. And we have the same color stripe going up the wall. That's just kind of a neat. Now, when I had this originally done, I had 2 of these mirrors. I was able to find this in our warehouse and put it back just for this showing occasion. But we had another one that went here that matched it, and it looked kind of neat because we have our arch top window on this side, so it kind of matched with the arch tops there. Over here, behind here, we have a really large 6-foot Kohler Whirlpool type tub, Whirlpool jetted tub with a shower head, of course, and a very contemporary fill. So we've the shower doors on it and the whole thing, and just a nice place to get a little different taste. If we had the whole house being the dark cherry ornate type woods, we still have ornate woods, but we're getting a little bit less tedious by not having the same thing in the home. As we're coming through here, we're entering into the bedroom hall niche. There's really not many halls in this house. So go around the back side here. Let's go that way again, because I want to go out on the main area. Let's go back to the start point, which is right by the foyer. All right. So you can walk around this whole circle, and this whole circle is the hallway for the home. The TV area, which I pointed out before, there you go, looking in that direction, that's the kitchen, and as you go in this direction and walk around, you get into this alcove, which has the den and the bathroom and those big windows. You then go into this alcove. This is all open, but this is as close as we come to a hallway. Since there is a bedroom niche here, this TV alcove not only hides the TV into it, but it also creates a break. So if your doors are open here, you're not seeing into the bedrooms from the main part of the house. There's 2 really nice areas here that have the round circle again introduced into it. I was wondering, what can we do to these doors to make them a little different? We have a little rounded front here, and we have the cabinets down below. This was all set up with some lights inside, and up above the crown moldings, you can see how this door can be shut off. These double doors can be shut off just for a little bit of privacy. They're not really lockable, they're just sort of a privacy item. If you were having a party, you had sleeping kids, and you have this open great room concept, this would help keep the noise down a little bit. So we'll put this back over here, and coming into this section here, you can see how we've changed our tiling up on these areas so that it's not all the same thing to the home. We did a little bit different tile touch. Coming straight forward, if you looked on your left, you'd find the bathroom we were just in. If you go straight forward, you folks who are watching this, or a person who's watching this, stay at the door for a moment and just kind of look at the room here. This room has a little different feel to it. This is a teenager's room, as I would envision it. So it has a fancy bed. This can fit a queen size between the 2 windows, but we put a single in here. It has the squiggles. You can see how we've got the little circles down here going into the squiggly carpet. Again, that's all cut in. Imagine the folks putting that together, how much fun they had doing that seaming. We have squiggles on the wall with the wallpaper treatment. We have squiggles in the mirrors. Now, originally when I built the home, I had 6 of these, and I attached them to the ceiling, and there were squiggles on the whole ceiling with the mirrors going down the way. In this house, we changed that around a little bit because we didn't have the 6 mirrors anymore, and there was, in fact, a little bit of a stain because I think they'd put something on this wall, and there was a little bit of a wallpaper stain, and we put the only wallpaper group that we do not have in this house any left of for some reason is this wallpaper. So we kind of hid that a little bit with the mirror using a little bit of clever decorating. We have the wood blinds. You have stand in that corner over there if you would. because this ceiling goes up here, and look at what you're seeing up here. Isn't that fun? That is a children's area. And you can kind of see a little bit of starlight through there because we have a fiber optic ceiling. These little wood grates that were built, there's not a lot of headroom up there. We'll go up there in a moment because it also shares its loft. It's a kids' play loft or a hangout loft for you to play video games, hang out, watch TV, and just have some fun. Here's a dresser wall over here, another dresser wall over here. And if you stand over here, you can see here, stand way back toward there. You can see the steps going up. This is all welded wrought iron again, so that you can go all the way up here. And I don't know if you want to go up 2 steps. So you feel game? You want to try it? Oh, let's test out our camera guy. If you can just step up there and go up just a couple of steps, and then you can come right back down again as soon as you can get that up. There you go. That's enough steps. And just kind of give it a pan in one direction and a pan in the other direction, and then come right back down. But be really careful. We don't want gorilla shooting to have a medical bill. All right. So come on down slowly. You've got 2 more steps. 1 more step up, and then now the carpet's next. Okay. There we go. Well, that was what we call a jump cut. It's very unusual in guerrilla shooting because we don't try to turn the camera off. We don't try to wait for any special lighting. This is all just very off the cuff. We don't stop and redo things. But in that case, the sound was starting to go out. So we had to do it. Our guy, cameraman, heard that and said, uh-oh, we might have trouble. So we're going to just kind of pick up from where we were. You can see this squiggly line on the floor, how it goes into the closet. It makes one slice across the whole room. When you go in the closet here, go on and take a peek. A lot of people wonder what the oval window is on the outside of the building. Well, the oval window is inside this closet. And there's California closet organizers in here again with a hamper and a couple of drawers. Nice metal pieces here, the brushed. It goes up high. There's some hanging up there. I couldn't reach up there, and I'm a fairly tall person, but this is what you use a rod for, like you'd see at a Kohl's department store or what have you. And you can then hang up your out-of-season clothes. It makes your closet almost twice as big by getting rid of the things that you're not wearing in that season, or fancier clothes and things like that you rarely wear. So come on out. Let's take a look at the next bedroom. Now, these 2 bedrooms on this floor, there's a third one, the master, of course, and you could use the den as a bedroom. It's been sized so you could do that, but probably wouldn't. This next bedroom is something that kids have built memories on. It's not like that anymore, I'm afraid. Remember, this home was opened in 2005 for touring, and part of 2006 before it got sold. And we had the most elaborate room that we've ever built in a bedroom. It was a Disney bedroom that had so many things going on. All I can do is point over to another situation for you, another DVD or video online, YouTube, that might have, showing my age, am I not, that you can look at to see how that bedroom was built. All right, show number 6, Home Imaginators, Tom Hignight's Home Imaginators, YouTube, I think part 2 or something like that. Come on in here. This was the Disney bedroom. And the Disney bedroom, right now, it's just a bedroom. The folks that moved in it had no use for a Disney bedroom. Kids a little older, and we had curved walls in here. We had a big Mickey Mouse bed. A couple of things that are still left over from this is this circle here. This used to be a monorail track that you could buy from the Disney stores. The monorail would go around here. Here, step over there a minute. And we had the Epcot ball, the ride here, and the train would go right past the Epcot ball, and I think a light would go on. We had a Dumbo ride. It would go by, and the Dumbo things would spin. We had it going over a bridge that was built out of wood that kind of came all the way around here and came over here and kept going. We had more shelving in here. This shelf extended all the way over to here, and we had Mickey Mouse up here, like a Disney store figurine that was spinning, motorized. We had the Fantasia buckets. We had Minnie and Mickey, Goofy and Donald, and all the characters were doing different things in here. The closet over here, which was a Toy Story closet, it had a set of double doors. This has been replaced since with a flush door, which the other door was just gorgeous looking. you would hear Disney characters talking inside, the Toy Story characters, Pixar actually. And as they'd be talking about, hey, I think I hear somebody outside the door, everybody be quiet, don't be so loud, they're having a little party in there. And you open up the doors, the kids would open up the doors, and of course they'd stop talking. And you'd see them, they're all glued to the shelves and they're in frozen positions, and then you close the door again and they go, oh, that was a close one. You guys almost blew our cover, and that kind of thing. So there you see a pretty basic closet today. Up here, this is the loft I was talking about that interconnects, and this is where I think we'll try to go up here. If you get a perspective over here if you can. I'm going to go up first, and don't follow me just quite yet. I want you to get a picture. This was all painted up like a castle. We had the parapets, as we call it, you know, the up and down little things that kids would sit here and look at the monorail going around. Because it was a small room and we had a lot of people in here, we had to make every square inch count. So we were playing under the bed. The bed was raised. We had a Mickey Mouse clubhouse under there. And up here is a whole other area for people to explore and find cool things. So come on up. Slowly, if you please. Yeah, you'll have to just put up with not too good of a view for the moment because we need our cameraman to be safe, all right? All right, slowly, slowly. All right, you're kind of up, and stand up. Okay, stand back there as far as you can. Let's get an idea of the size of this room. Now, you saw me looking over a moment ago, so go over to here and take a look over there. I'm going to go over in this side. You can kind of get a good perspective of the room from there. Over to your far left over there, that shelf, that had Daisy Duck doing some makeup with some of the Fantasia brooms with a makeup table. Some really cool stuff. This had castle parapets. We had a castle tower here that was all made out of fiberglass, and it's now in the basement of this house, believe it or not. Just as a decoration down there, you'll see that in a few moments. This whole area was, let's trade places if you can go over there. So as you come up here, this whole area was a history of Disney animation. We had a little wall coming out here with a curtain on it, and a curtain here, and a curtain there. And we had this divided into decades. I think this was 1960s to 1930 to 1960. This was 1960 to 1980. This was 1980 to present. And there was glass showcases that were built in here and here, plexiglass. And there were a lot of artifacts. You can see all the alcoves. The lighting under here. Get a little lower, you can probably see the lighting better. You can see the alcoves here. This all had glass in front of it, and they were little things that pointed out, you know, what you were looking at. But more importantly, there were 3 speaker sets up here. We've taken out some of them now. There was a speaker set here, a speaker here, and a speaker over the other dividing area. Here, let's get an opposite view now. I want to keep this moving. And when you came up here, we had a man speaker that was talking to you about what you were seeing on the artifacts and the history of Disney animation. We had a lady speaker here, that different voice so they didn't get confused. And we had the man speaker here again so that they'd talk to you all about the Disney animation. We had a TV that was put in each one that was showing you some clips we had made just for that era. Okay, so that's history of Disney animation. Gave something to do when you were up here to look at. This was pink curtains, and these pink curtains were closed. You have to remember this, that again, we're always trying to give you things to discover, things to see. They go, oh, that's really cool. So this had pink curtains on it. You opened it up and you were in a princess balcony. We have a speaker here that was just playing princess music. We had stuffed dolls of princesses in here, a little throne chair, and take a look inside. This looks over the Great Room, and it's one of the better looks at the Great Room. So thanks for walking down memory lane with me here. But it's fun to go back. At least for one of us it is, huh? All right, well there it is, real slow now. Let's get a nice shot of that. Okay. And this whole room was made with the Jadecor on the walls again, which is a mixture of rhinestones and paper mache. And you can get a good view of that. There we are. Okay, stay right there and spin around so you can get a long view of the room. This room had a this glaring light here. I'll stand in front of it for you if that helps at all. This had stained glass over it, and they were all in the shape of Mickey heads. That is obviously not in here anymore. There's the speakers for in here. Come on over. Remember how I showed you that this connected into the other room? Again, this was a little surprise area. We're trying to give you those surprises. We had a lot of art hanging on the walls up here and different memorabilia. And we have an air conditioning system up here because it gets a little warm. Go all the way through. Well, maybe I should go first, huh? It's just a really narrow 18-inch door here. And this door, here, come on. This door, you stay way on that end. I'll go on this end. You can see the fiber optic ceiling lights in here. Little stars, if you don't know how that works. There's one light bulb. And the one light bulb lights up 1,000 long pieces of spaghetti. And if you ever have to change that light, if one of these goes out, they all go out because they're just one light bulb that lights them all up, fiber optic. Little speakers up here again. These are the peekaboo windows that looked out into the other bedroom. If you want to look over there, there you go. Get a nice view. All right. One of the alcoves that we built into the room next door, that little alcove that I showed you that was for the Epcot ball, is right here. And because we have, here, wait till you get to it. You're not quite at it. You gotta step back. No way you're seeing that yet. This is the alcove here. And we sat a grouping of shelves up on the top of it just to give it something to do so it wasn't just looking quite so out of place. All right, let's go back this way. This is the entrance into the attic. Not a very great entrance, but an entrance nonetheless. So if you ever had to change any of the attic items, such as the light bulbs that do the fiber optics, if you look up on the ceiling, originally we had Mickey and Donald constellations up here. I don't know if they've been painted over or what. Now I'm going to give you a choice for the cameraman here for safety's sake. What do you say you turn that off just for a moment so we play it safe and get down these stairs, okay? We'll see you down on the bottom side. All right, well thank you for that. And we continue on by leaving the kids' bedroom and going into our circular hallway to continue our circular path, more than a hall. As you go around the circular path, you'll see that you emerge back on the other side of the TV alcove. And we have this beautiful desk here, complete with drawers, file drawers. Here, they look like 4 drawers, but they're, you know, the fronts of the drawers are made up a little different. And we've got the cabinets up here. You've got lighting. This is an extra closet. Love closets, all sorts of them. You have the light that goes on inside again. Little alcove up on top. I think that's really cute. When you come in and see this room from the foyer over here, this really shows up nicely. We have the 3 lights in the curved bookcase. Curved bookcase is a cute idea, isn't it? Kind of goes with the curved room. The bookcase itself is actually square in the back side, but we've created the shelves and the illusion of it being curved. The front of it is curved. You can see the front, how this piece was bent. The lights are a little bit bright. If I turn these off right here, there is a second way to do that. And of course, I can just turn them on a little bit with the dimmer if I want to, like that. See how that curve goes? Gorgeous stuff. All right, we'll turn it on bright again. Take a look from this perspective. I'm going to go through my little cheater alley here. This is not really a walk path, but I notice a lot of people use it to cheat through right by the fireplace. And you can see the distance of the room. It's pretty much a circle, so it's kind of the same distance in many ways. So I'm going to come right back at you if you want to back up that way just a little bit. You can see how the hearth from that angle, if you look down, how the hearth was curved by our friends over at Halquist Stone to make the curve of the room. And I remember they had to go back a second time because the curve wasn't quite right. Wonders. take a look at the flooring as we had it before. We showed it before. I showed it the tile. And see how the tile is now going through a doorway and into the master bedroom, so that we're not just starting and stopping right there. It actually comes in real nicely into here. I'm going to go way down on the other side, and you can stay right there for a moment because I want to show you the view from there. Matter of fact, step back a half a step. Get the longest view you can. Look at the ceiling. We've got brick arches in here with that idea of what can we do to surprise you in the next room. So there's these brick arches with a true stone fireplace around, not made out of fiberglass or drywall, a stone fireplace around. We have an oversized king-size bed here. We had different furniture in here when we first had it open. This was an original piece here, and we had a bed set that matched it. But guess what? A lot of that stuff got sold in eBay and different things. So we went to our warehouse and we found this bed, which was, you know, similar to the kind of ornateness we're looking for. Let's do a four corner. If you'd go over there, I'll trade places with you over here. Don't always do four corners. If you've been noticing, we do sometimes a two corner. But this room goes all the way to a point and then snubs off. So the fireplace is on the snub. And you're looking down. See how we've illuminated? We have one light bulb out, but look at how we illuminated the ceiling here. Because we've kind of hidden where the light is. How are you lighting this curved ceiling? It's a barrel vaulted ceiling. We're doing it by building in recessed lights on their sides into the brickwork. And it really gives a nice effect to the room. You can see how the curve continues over here. This very difficult construction to get this all to work with the angles we have going. But let me show you something else. Over here in 2004, remember, the home was built. It needed a deeper TV, but we also saw that flat panels were definitely coming in. So this area here was actually made for the TV. So the TV could go deep. Here's your plug-ins over here and here. And this was a spot for your DVD player to go in. But we also knew perhaps you'd be getting a 42-inch at the time. We thought that was big. A 42-inch TV to go into this area. So the 42-inch would just sit on its stand here and overhang from about here to here. And it faces on an angle to the bed. So if you step right over there, right with your back to there, so you are now in the place of that TV, you'll see that it faces the bed. Although it's a good idea not to have the posts there, come to think of it. It might get in the way of the TV a little bit. So the alcove, we had the hand painting done. I think her name was Jeannie. I'm trying to remember her name. Oh, help me. Anyway, each side of the bed has their own little light that goes on and off for reading. And this light here for kind of turning on and off the main light over by the bathroom door so you can get out and have your light lit up that way, kind of a night light idea. The folks here replaced the carpet. Originally I had a medallion in the floor here made out of round circle of carpet, and this was tan with just the bordering for this going out of the burgundy color. But they did a nice job. I like the carpet in here. This area over here, take 2 steps back by the bed and look in this direction. This was where the 6-foot long dresser goes. I never design a home without knowing that the practical furniture will fit. So the 6-foot plus, usually 6'2", dresser with the mirror was here. And then we had a big chair that was similar to this but bigger. Right here, kind of a big crown, looks like a 2-1-2 flanking each side of these doors. They looked like 2 thrones, king and queen, right? So here we had this throne, and on the other side we had the other throne. So if you step over there a couple of steps, just right over by the patio door, you'll notice that from the bed view, you're able to see the view that I want you to see. Remember I pointed out when we were outside on the part 1 of this about how we had a small 1970s ranch in that direction. So realizing that when I was designing the home, I wanted you to look into the far area that would probably never have anything put there. So come around here and get on the bed. The bed will take an elephant on it. No disrespect intended, but there you have the view from the bed. going right out the patio doors. We have an opening window over here. We have the glass going all the way through. You're overlooking the flooding patio. You're overlooking if you open this up at night, the alarm tells you that the door is open. There we go. Take a little glance at, walk out there and just kind of see where you're at. I'll shut up a moment so you can hear the water. And there we are. So you're looking far out into this area right here. That's the area. They recently planted a tree. I can see the pine tree there, or the spruce tree, and it's going to cover most of that Longview area. But so it goes. Let's go back in to the bedroom and take a look from that angle. We'll close the door here again. There we go. So when you're coming in to the bedroom for the first time, you're coming in through the curved top door. This isn't quite as tall as the other curved top doors. There's speakers and an alarm system right here, as there are in most of the areas of the house. Lots of speakers means less of them, and you don't have to turn any of them up real loud. You have lights back here going into the bathroom and into the master closet. So come on into the bathroom. You have a towel cabinet on your left as soon as you come in, but let's get a long view of this. In here, if I may, this was the grandest hot tub the Kohler had at the time. They still may be the grandest they have today, but this is remember at the time this was some $7,000 item, and it has changing lights inside. Here, come on, you can't see that well from there. Come on up. Did the tile top. When you're doing a circular tub, well, how do you finish that out? Take a look. We did little medallions that were metal-like. These are suction cups. You can put them on pretty much wherever you want. And did a little area here for his towel, for her towel. See how we did the raised areas here. All the tile going around, how that was all done. We have the sconces here for the lights. Up above, we did the pie-pieced wallpaper, this TV here, which back then that was a pretty luxurious item to have a TV in your bathroom. Angled down, you could angle it down a little bit more. It is on an arm here, so you can do some other things with it and get it to go in and out. See, I'm going to come out here. Do you want to trade places? I'm only doing this for length of space of shot for you. And it's not too slippery in there, but do be careful. All right, another suction cup idea there. All right, so here's the entrance in. It's kind of a better angle because you're not looking into the sun. The sun's setting right now, and it's in that direction. The westerly direction is there. House is facing north and south. Perfect. This is a little bit lower than this area here. This is wrapping you again with the circles idea. And 3 drawers each side. Ah, very nice. We've got a panel that was taken off here. It's got screws that put it back on, so I'll just leave that off. We have a cabinet here for your towels that has the uppers and the lowers, and then the other here. These mirrors I'd bought for the home, and we left them in position. We sold them with the home originally. And if I looked in here behind this door, another speaker. All right, come on through. Come on through. Okay, a little granite step here, which is kind of fun. And then the curved wood here. When these panels remove, so you can get access. And I won't try to re-access that at the moment, but this panel also comes off so you can get in. So we did the curved panel, which is quite a pricey item. Here you have the toilet area, which is private. This is the most expensive toilet that Kohler made and perhaps still makes today, because we had someone come through here recently from Kohler who told us that this is silver, and it's applied It's one of the more expensive things that they do. Obscured glass window. This is a Kohler shower. It's really hard to get this shot, but there's a great tower inside. I'll let you peek around the corner and I'll get out of the way. For 2 shower heads. It's a 5-foot shower with a fiberglass basin, and you can see the intricacies of how we did the tile on the wall here with these little metallic leaves going around and the metallic fleur-de-lis that were in these squares, and they've held up. Remember, now this is a, what did I say, a 12-year-old home lived in. And if you look at the floor, you can see that we did a line that came through the floor here. And that line came all the way through to here. And we did a medallion tile, which is really pretty. And this kind of comes in with the gray grout as opposed to the tan grout. And it goes all the way through in the 4 directions here. It's just another little detail item. Remember, I talked about how we changed the tile above the doors. You can see up here how we've changed the tile here above the door. We've wallpapered the ceiling. We've done so many different things in the home just to kind of create that sense of detail that was so predominant a couple hundred years ago when homes like this were being built. Around the corner is a master closet. And let's take a look at that. We had a TV right here that was facing you, and the idea is that it's just kind of telling you again about the room. We had a lot of drawers, still are, with the velvet lining. 1, 2, 3 of them here. We have the hamper that would pull out here, and a lot of little doodads, as I would call them, like, oh, excuse me, wrong doodad. There's a, I'll find it here, there it is, for hanging your clothes in the, that you're going to be taking off the rack that you might use the next morning. Tie racks and belt racks and things like that. Another drawer here with the velvet in it, and another couple of drawers. The light fixtures here, this one's a little low, but guess what? There's a kit for that that makes that a higher light to go up against the ceiling. And when we were leaving this home in 2006, 07, I put that up there thinking that that might be needed someday by somebody who's taller than me, because I barely make it under here at 6'2". And I was so surprised. It's there again, even when we came back. So why don't you go in that corner over there. Again, another long shot. Trying to cover the whole room for you so you can see what the views might be. I hope this is easy enough to see. Come over here, one more little thing. Several areas in this house have these automatic devices. So if I slide this to off, that's way at the other end. If I slide it to the middle, it'll also turn off for a moment. But as soon as anybody moves, it goes right back on. It gives you about 10 or 15 minutes before it will go on and off by itself. Excuse me. It goes on right away when you walk by it, though. That's the master bedroom, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Didn't really look at the fireplace, unfortunately. Do you want to get a closer view of that quick while we're still in here? I'm looking around the room. Here, get a quick view over here. I just think that detail means so much when you look at the way that the folks at Hallquist made this, because this is all, you know, the real McCoy. It's real stone, all carved and shaped out of real stone. Is no easy feat, and no inexpensive feat either, I might add. There are 3 fireplaces in the home. The one that you see in the master, the one that you may have seen in part 1 in the main room, and then there's another one in the basement, which we're going to be heading toward momentarily. Let's head in that direction. Go around the curve here. Follow me right around. And as we go around, people will ask me when we're in the home, even to this day, I didn't see the basement. Where's the basement stairs? And I say, just follow the circle. You'll hit about every room in the home by just following the circle. The basement is a treat. It's completely different than the upstairs. We're trying to transition you into something that just doesn't feel like more of the same, and it's not. So let's hold on for part 3. Thanks for joining me. Until part 3, this has been Tom Hignite on another Gorilla Shoot.